decide to show too much.
Okay, I'm nervous and there's like literally nobody in the room. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me today. You are entering the world of Live, Breathe, Beat Desmoid Tumor. My name is Brianna. I am a survivor of desmoid tumor. This channel, I'm creating it because I feel as though it is time for me to just be out there about what I've experienced, what I've gone through, just giving those who are dealing with desmoid tumor and anyone else who is in need of encouragement or hope the opportunity to take a look into my life and walk through the journey with me as far as what I've been through over the past 7 years, how it all got started, just anything that I can think of to express to you guys just to help. I mean, we're in a very strange time right now with the pandemic that is worldwide. It's very new for all of us, and I'm sure on top of that there are a lot of things that people are dealing with in addition to COVID, whether it's mental or psychological. Well, that plays the same key, but psychological, emotional, spiritual, physical. And I just wanted to create this channel as a way to encourage, to uplift, to upbuild, to be a light, to give hope. So if you've stumbled across this channel or maybe you've heard about it, whatever the case, I'm praying that you receive something from it. Again, my name is Brianna and I'm an desmoid tumor survivor. I would like to make it clear this channel is not solely for those who are experiencing desmoid tumor. It's for anybody and everybody who may just need a little uplifting, a little encouraging, whatever it is that you're struggling with or going through. That is what I'm here for. I just so happen to be an individual who has gone through with this very rare disease. Now, my journey started 7 years ago. It basically kind of got started in 2012, but it really hit in 2013. So just to give you guys a little bit of background about me, I am born and raised Philly girl. I know a lot of people don't get that, don't think that I'm from Philly, you know, when you first meet me, but I am a Philly girl, okay. I was born in January. I have 3 other siblings. I'm the second oldest of 4. My parents, who are still married today, just celebrated their 38th anniversary. Let's see. Try not to go into too much about my background, but essentially I am just a simple little Philly girl. I don't know what else to say. And in 2012, 2012 was a strange year for me in the sense that prior to, I had completed 3 years of nursing school and I was supposed to graduate May of 2012. Well, unfortunately that didn't happen. I literally was 2 points away from graduating. 2 points. 2 points away from getting my nursing degree. My associates. I did have to repeat, hence the reason why I was there for 3 years. And that was very disappointing for me. It was very disappointing. So, I wasn't going to give up though. I was determined to continue with schooling. Whether it was going to be in nursing, I wasn't sure at the time. But in 2012, I had just missed the mark to graduate. So I basically just went to work full time. So I was working full time May, June, July, all the way through that year. And in December of 2012, I began to notice, I was a stomach sleeper. I was a heavy stomach sleeper. Like literally, I could get in the bed and start on my side somewhere, but by the morning, I'm on my stomach. So I was a stomach sleeper. And this particular day, I can't remember exactly what day it was. I just know it was in December. I was lying in my bed one night and I felt this mass in my stomach deep down. Like I couldn't feel it unless I was lying on my stomach. And it was about the size of my fist. And initially I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, well, whatever it is, it'll resolve on its own. That was my thing. Like, it will resolve because before that, I had never been sick. I had never been hospitalized. The only time I was ever in the hospital was for clinical. So I'm like, I'm healthy. I'm 22. There's no way there's anything wrong with me. And literally, I had just passed up insurance at my job because I was like, I've never been sick. I'm not going to get sick. And this was prior to Obamacare. So I didn't have to technically have insurance at the time. So I didn't have insurance, and I just knew that whatever this issue was, it was just going to resolve. I was going to be fine. It was going to go away, whatever. And months go by, it doesn't go away. It gets bigger. But I'm still like, I'll just, treat myself. I'll go to the store. I'll get some, laxatives and see if there's something that's like blocking my system. Maybe it just needs to be, pushed out a little bit, given a little help, whatever. And so I did all that. Eventually my appetite began to change. And I mean, listen, I'm going to be putting in old photos, so you could get kind of like a comparison of the before and after. But I could eat, okay? I could throw down on some food, like, for real. At my heaviest, I was like 180 pounds, so I could throw down. And I love food. I still do love food. I still do love food. And so my appetite started to change. It started to wane, and I was like, well, this isn't normal, not for me, because I can eat. I started to lose my appetite. I would wake up in the middle of the night, literally darting to the bathroom because I have this sudden urge out of the blue to vomit. And this started happening a couple times a week. Then it would gradually increase to more and more times a week. By now we're in February, March, and I'm like, something really is wrong. I just don't know. I don't want to go to the hospital because I didn't have insurance and I did not want a hospital bill that I could not foot. So I just put it off. I tried everything that I could try. Nothing was working. I was still having this problem. The mass felt like it was getting bigger. By the time I finally came to my siblings about it, because I told my mom and my sister about it, but my brothers didn't really know what was going on too much, and I don't remember if I told my dad. And by that time, it literally was the size of a football. So we're talking from December to March. It went from the size of a fist, my fist, to literally the size of a football. If I lied back, you could see on my left side this lump, this mass that would come up. And it was like the shape of a football. The reason why this video is called She Named It Trevor is because by the time I actually did come forth with what was going on in my body to my siblings, we're all very, my younger brother and my younger sister are like the jokesters of the family. They bring levity to every situation, no matter what it is. In this particular moment, I don't remember exactly everything that happened specifically, but I do remember my sister, she's sitting over here, my brothers are sitting over here. I'm like right here on the ottoman laying back, like, you guys see what's going on? Look, there's a football in my stomach. And my sister's like, oh my gosh, it's an alien baby named Trevor. It's got nasty teeth and whatever. Like, she went into descriptory things and all that. It was funny at the time. And so the name stuck. So we started calling the tumor from that moment on Trevor. And so March 31st comes around. We're now in 2013. March 31st comes around. It's Easter Sunday. I remember what I was wearing. I had this beautiful dress. I can show you. I know I have a picture of the dress that I had on, but it's not from that particular day, but it's the same dress. So which means that my size was around the same at the time. even though it was about a year apart, I think. So anyway, I'm wearing this beautiful dress that I got on sale from Banana Republic, and these shoes that were so cute but could only wear momentarily. And I did a small fundraiser. At the time, I did praise dance, and I was raising money for our dance team so that we can, you know, get things and all that kind of stuff. So I did a bake sale at my church. It was Easter Sunday. It was the last Sunday in March, March the 31st. The next day was going to be April 1st, Monday, April Fool's. And so every year while my grandmother was alive, we would always go to Delaware. My mom's side of the family is in Delaware. And we would have potluck for Easter Sunday. Everybody, there would be, you know, everybody would have their dish. So this particular Sunday, we go like regular, like normal. Please excuse me. We go like normal. And I eat. Well, I tried to eat like I normally do. Everybody starts off with one plate, you know, plate is flat, but then you pile it high with food. And I did. And I just barely made it through, but I was unable to get seconds because I was miserable, absolutely miserable. And this is not the miserable where you're like, oh, if I just sit here, unbuckle my pants for a few minutes, I'll be able to go for seconds. No, this was miserable. Like, I overdid it. I overstepped my boundaries. I'm like gonna be sick. It's bad enough I've got this football-sized mass literally sitting on my stomach. So I went ham because I felt like I could, and then it turned out I couldn't. So anyway, Easter Sunday, we're at my grandmother's. Everybody's eating. It's time to go home. Now, as I mentioned, I was having, we called them episodes because they started happening all the time, where I would just, and they always happened in the middle of the night. They never really happened during the day. It was always midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't expect to have any issues after dinner. At least not like on the ride home or at my grandmother's house. And so by the time I get in the car, we're headed home. We had plastic bags on hand just in case. And of course, I'm in the front seat, and we don't even get, we get maybe halfway home. We're still on the we're still on the highway. And I have to dive real quick for these triple plastic bags, and I literally brought up like everything that I just ate. Ugh, it was disgusting. So at that point, I'm like, okay, something is really, really wrong, and I should probably finally just suck it up, bite the bullet, and go to the hospital. So obviously we don't do it that evening. The next day is a Monday. It's April the 1st. I have an actual photo of that day when I was in the ER. I went to work like a normal day. So Monday, April the 1st, I am going to work. Not even there that long. I take a sip of water, and like 10 or 15 minutes later, I am literally darting to the bathroom to vomit. And this time I had already chucked up everything from the night before. So at this point, I'm literally just like vomiting stomach fluid and water. And so I'm like, okay, well, I was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to see how the rest of the day goes. My boss was like, is everything okay? I was like, not feeling that great. I might not make it for very long here today. I'm not feeling very great. So I go back downstairs. She's like, okay. I go back downstairs, and I don't even drink anymore. I don't even think I drank any more water. Mind you, this is April the 1st, 2013. I didn't drink any more water from what I can recall. But I do remember darting for a second time to the bathroom to again vomit. So I was like, okay, yeah, well, there is definitely really, really something wrong here. And I'm like, I need to leave. So I was relieved a couple hours later. I was probably at work for all of 2 hours this particular morning. And I was then relieved a little while later. As soon as I was relieved, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm here at work. All I did was sip some water and I vomited twice. She's like, Bray, go to the hospital right away. So the nearest hospital, I worked on the main line. The nearest hospital was Lincoln. So that's where I went. Lincoln Hospital. Called my dad. I was in the ER for 4 hours. 4 hours. I was in the ER. I think it was about 2 hours before my dad finally showed up to be with me. And then 2 hours later, I finally got pulled back. And I have a picture. My dad, I'm so thankful now that my dad took so much video, so many photos, because you're going to see these as we progress. He took so many videos, so many photos, and I'm able to look back on those. And that's part of what I'm going to be sharing with you as we go through this journey. Now, of course, it would take forever for me to sit down and give you every single thing. So this is why it's going to be a series of videos where I just recount these events as best I can and give you video and pictures to kind of give you a visual of what was going on at the time. Because obviously I don't look like what I've been through, honey. Thank God. So anyway, I finally get pulled in the back. They want me to drink contrast. They want me to get an x-ray. And it's funny because, like, the one thing about doctors, and I love doctors, don't get me wrong, doctors have a job to do and they do it, but it's just like, the doctor came in and I'm like, yeah, there's a football-sized mass in my abdomen. I don't know what it is. I just want it gone. So he's like, okay. I laid back, pulled my shirt up, and he's like, wow, you weren't kidding. Like, no, I wasn't kidding. Why would I kid? I just sat in the ER for 4 hours. Do you think I want to be here? Why would I sit here and joke about there being a football in my stomach that doesn't belong? Anyway, so we do the x-ray. He's like, yeah, there's definitely something in there. It's definitely a mass. And he gave me one of two options. He said, our chief of surgery isn't here today, so you can either make a consultation with him for sometime the following week, if I'm not mistaken, or you could get admitted, have surgery tomorrow, and we can just see if we can take this thing out. I was like, you know what? Bet. I want my life back. I want it back now. Let's just take this thing out. So I got admitted April the 1st, 2013 to get surgery from a doctor I had never met the next morning. I know. Hindsight is like, what were you thinking? But I know when you're going through these things, you don't, at the time, you think, but you don't think. It's like, all you're worried about is I want my life back. I want normalcy back. I don't like that there's a difference happening in my life right now. I don't like that there's a change occurring. One couldn't see coming. Two that I, can't help that it's here and it's in my way. I just want it gone. And that was the process. Mind you, I'm 23. I want to enjoy my 20s. I want to travel. I want to go places. I want to do things. I want to meet people. I don't want to be sitting here in the hospital. So I'm like, listen, the quickest solution possible. They get me on their operating table. I had never been in surgery a day in my life prior to. I'm like, get me on that table, get this thing out of me, and let's move on. Okay? Let's move on. That was where my mom was. And that was when, and I'm going to tell you something. God is and has been on my side this entire time. I had surgery, and after surgery, the doctor came to my mom and dad. Now, I'm going to tell you what the miracle number 1 was. He did not remove the tumor. And you'll find out later why that was a miracle. You might know now. Had he taken, no, we'll save that for later. Cliffhangers, okay? It's my specialty. He told my mom and dad and my sister after the surgery. And this was news to me when my mom told me. 1, now mind you, remember, this is a very rare disease, extremely rare. At the time that I was diagnosed, the numbers for this was 2 to 4 out of 1 million people were affected. That was in 2013. Now I think the numbers are closer to 5 and 6 per 1 million people. But in any case, it's rare. One, he had come to my mom and dad and my sister after surgery and said that he's pretty positive that it was a desmoid tumor. Okay, now listen to me. That's miracle number 1. What are the odds that he was able to predict what this possibly really was, being so rare? And then number 2, he said to them that there was a strong possibility, okay, strong possibility that I would need an intestinal transplant. I mean, that in and of itself is miracle numbers 1 and 2. I'm going to lose track because there are a lot of them that occur. I am a miracle. Like, you're looking at a miracle right here, right now. And that is where my journey officially got started. So, as much as you may want me to continue, I'm not. You'll have to come back later for the rest. I want you to know that this channel is for anybody. When you go through things, your mind goes places that no one else can really comprehend. You might try to tell people, explain to people. It is really hard for others to truly understand what you're going through. And sometimes you just need a little help. Even if I only touch one person with these videos, that's plenty for me. I want to remind you, please feel free to leave me comments, questions, suggestions. These are going to be a series of videos that are going to take place because I can't give you everything at once. It's too much. So stay tuned for more, definitely. If I don't get to your questions by answering them, please be mindful that I will get to your questions. I don't want you to feel unheard or left out or ignored. I will get to your questions. My goal is, as I accumulate questions, I'm going to do a live video one day to answer the questions as opposed to giving answers all in the comment section. So I'm going to do that for sure. That's it for today, brave, beautiful people. So until next time, I want you to know you will get through this. Whatever it is, there is a finish line. There is an end. You can and will make it. Stay positive. Stay strong. Keep your head up. Okay? Keep moving. Keep your head up. Keep moving. And believe God. I'm telling you, He's real. And He will help you through this all the way. 100%. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cliffhangers are going to be a thing here. So keep that in mind. Until next time. Toodles. Mwah.